Mark Stevens, author of Government Indicted, the website, markstevens.net, the radio show, The No State Project, live every Saturday from 4 to 7 Eastern Standard Time on the LRN.FM, the Liberty Radio Network, and also another hour on Wednesday from 6 to 7 Eastern Standard Time. And that is a live video stream that you can call if you're having trouble with the bureaucrat. They're attacking you. You want to limit the damage that these predators are looking to do. Then we have a proven method here at markstevens.net. And again, proven, we just ask questions. We're just challenging them, keeping the burden of proof on the prosecution and keeping the burden of proof on them until they start spouting nonsense that they don't need evidence. That when it's so obviously... it's so obvious that they don't have a shred of evidence to support their conclusions and their claims. They just go to the old standard, we don't need evidence because they're, God's messengers on earth, or God's servants on earth, and some other stupid nonsense like that. But we've got yet another success story to post here at markstevens.net. We have quite a few of them here, getting big, pretty much every week or so we get documentary proof. A lot of tickets are thrown out. We don't always have the documentary proof, so we don't always get that. People don't always say. They just want to get the hell out of the court. But here we've got it. It's been a while since we've had one from here, but we definitely have.
Australia, 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 we love you.
This one is from Australia. Let's see if we go down here. There we go. This is in Ipswich. I want to thank George for acting as a McKenzie friend for Lee. And if we go down yonder, the McKenzie friend, this is something that must really talk attorneys. It would probably give them strokes if they were to allow us to act as McKenzie friends here. A McKenzie friend assists a litigant in person in a court of law in England and Wales. It's also in Australia. This person does not need to be legally qualified. The crucial point is that litigants in person are entitled to have assistance, lay or professional, unless there are exceptional circumstances. Yeah. So, this is something that attorneys would fight tooth and nail. I'm sure some of them would put their life savings into keeping people like me from being able to act as a McKenzie friend so that people don't have to spend, their life savings to get an attorney to make a deal for them that they could have made for themselves. So we're going to get this video posted up here. Let's go through the actual documents over here. And, of course, this document will be in the article. Again, this happened in Ipswich. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but that is in Queensland, down there, down under in Australia. This is the short transcript. And the judge is saying, the bench, that charge won't be proceeding. I haven't seen Lee yet this morning, but I also expect him here. What George told me was that they were about 5 to 10 minutes late. And strangely enough, they were the first ones on the docket. And it looks like the judge over there, called the bench, he said, that'll also be formally dismissed then. Now, what George, and this is in the article, I quote his email to me, what George reported to me was that they did file the application to dismiss. Now, the application to dismiss is the same in Australia as we do in Canada, England, or the United States, and that is based on the foundational claim, and it's just a claim. Men and women making a claim that if you're physically in Australia, then the Constitution and laws apply, and they have jurisdiction. That's the foundation. We filed the application based on no evidence to support that claim, and that there's no evidence for a valid cause of action, and that the court has no jurisdiction. So you have no evidence of jurisdiction, no evidence of a valid claim. Of course, let's say an essential element of the claim is the code, which they think applies to us just because we're physically in Australia and not a shred of evidence to support that. So the judge, the magistrate, McCullum, he went down there. This is the actual verdict and judgment record. Okay, and this was criminal. In the Magistrates Court of Queensland at Ipswich, Lee. Let's see what it says here. It was a crime known as obstruction of persons performing functions. No plea was given because he filed an application, and there you got it. Let's blow that. Can we blow that up anymore? Can we? Let me see. Can we do that? There we go. No evidence to offer. So big congratulations to Lee for taking a principled stand against these predators. And I know, there will be critics that will claim that there were 100 other reasons why this could have been dismissed. It looks like it was initially withdrawn by the prosecution. Now, that may be true. We always say that's possible. Well, let's take a look at that. We know that the evidence shows that they filed a motion or an application to dismiss based on no evidence to support the foundational claim of the prosecution and an essential element of the prosecution's charge, which is it's a statute. It's a rule. So that matches, the reason why it was thrown out matches Lee's entire defense. So circumstantially, we have to conclude, yeah, it had to do with Lee's defense. But on the other side, this doesn't say insufficient evidence to offer. No. They charged him in court, presumably on a penalty of perjury. And the judgment was no evidence to offer. So if we want to conclude that, and I be the first to admit this is possible, I don't think this is what happened. Because if it was no evidence to offer, and it wasn't based on our defense or Lee's defense, and it really is no evidence to offer, and it was based on the merits, then there was no evidence to offer that there was any obstruction of persons performing functions. It's starting to look like this was contempt of cop. So basically what you have here is an admission that the police filed a false complaint, which is typically pretty serious. That's a felony. That's obstruction. That's abusive process. Oh, no, it's abusive process. And so here, if we take what a critic would say, we have what could be evidence of a false charge filed by the police officer. And what's his name there? Yeah, this Sergeant McDonald. So Sergeant McDonald filed a false complaint. He had no evidence to support. Did the judge charge the police officer with filing a false complaint? No, I think it's pretty obvious here. It was thrown out because we said that there was no evidence to support the foundational claim of the prosecution's case, and that there was no evidence to show a valid cause of action. That there was no evidence for an essential element of the charge, and that being that the statutes apply just because Lee is physically in Ipswich, down there in Queensland, Australia. So, big congratulations to Lee and George for taking a principled stand and getting this trash thrown out. We'll get that posted again right here at markstevens.net on the success stories. But if you think that I am full of crap, if you think that there is actually evidence, and I'm providing all that I was given, then hey, if you think I'm full of crap, if you think there's evidence proving that these statutes apply to anybody just because they're physically in Australia, and you can do what the police could not do, they had no evidence to offer. But if you know better, if you have the evidence, please give us a call. Live 4 hours a week. Confront me in real time. Present your proof that these rules written by men and women apply to everyone just because they're physically in Australia. I would love to hear your evidence. Again, my name is Marc Stevens. The website's markstevens.net. And if you've got evidence,